have to have people in your world who can see you
and don't mind making you uncomfortable.
Yes, because that's where you grow.
And I found that is where you grow more. Watering that seed to know that you're going to be uncomfortable, to find out what it is that's driving you.
Yeah. Welcome, everyone. I'm snapping for myself. Welcome, everyone, to Daily Store Run Podcast. I am your host, Aaila, a.k.a. Who is Aaila? I have a very special guest with me. If y'all don't know this individual, he is a model. He's a choreographer. He's a dancer. He can clearly fucking dress. He can be your stylist if you would like to, hire him for that. But I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Yo. We're in the pocket today.
We're in the pocket
Thank you so much for having me, sis. I appreciate you.
Of course.
It's lit.
If y'all know who it is, we talk about, this is Damarkus Byrd.
Damarkus is in the building.
A.K.A.
Like Munny. You guys may know me as Munny, Mookie. But yeah, Damarkus, I'm here.
How you feel to be here today?
I feel like Diddy. Like all those names. Ooh. Like Love, Brother, Diddy, Puff Daddy.
Oh, okay, I'm about to say
I feel like all these names. But I love it here. Yeah, I feel good. I feel blessed.
Happy.
I'm thankful.
I'm happy you showed up.
You thought I was going to come, sis?
I was really thinking of like some legit creative people in Atlanta who are really like for the culture, but also are doing their own creative things, like are their own individual, entities. And you were just that person. Love. And we always have good energy when whenever we're around each other, we just like.
We do. It's a nice little blend. It's real cool. And I'm loving it because like the first day we met was so cool.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wait, damn.
We met. It was so cool, y'all. We ate. We
it
went
felt
out
like
for
we
dinner,
been to each other and shit
for a long, long time.
That is crazy. That was the first time we met.
Yeah, it was good energy. That's why I'm so thankful to be here. Like you chose me to be the first
person.
The first one.
He is my first special guest co-host. I'm so happy, y'all.
I'm thankful. It's lit.
Because he obliged.
Yeah.
So let's get into it. So y'all gonna see this in the episode in some clips because we were getting him. First of all, he had me running around here, me and his photographer. That was number one. He had me a little bit fucked up, but it's okay because I got some I got some good BTS of him.
She really did. I'm thankful too.
You're welcome.
Thankful all the
I got some good BTS of him, but. We were talking a little bit earlier about just what you do. We know that you are a man of many talents, aside from being like a model. I know you recently did a show. Can you tell us about the show that you just threw down on?
Yo, shout out to Living Royalty for the show. The show was amazing. We was at the Atlanta History Center. Shout out to Atlanta History Center for being in Atlanta. The show was amazing. It was really, really fun. Super exciting. The designers came and did their thing. The audience really enjoyed it. I was able to open up the show. So I was overwhelmed in a great way, though. Okay. Like, not in a bad way. Yeah. It was like a good overwhelm.
Because you definitely opened up the show. Your walk was insane.
We popped the show off nice. I danced to open up the show.
Yeah, you did dance. Y'all did a nice, like...
Yeah, we did. We took it differently this year. I wanted to, when I was presented the opportunity, I wanted to come back to my roots. If you didn't know, I was very much more so. Yeah, for sure. I need some more.
Coming back to my roots. Yeah, you was definitely drinking. Wait, we got to tap. Oh, yeah. Cool. Y'all better tap when y'all do y'all cheers.
I thought you only tap when like you.
I tap every
taking
time.
a toast.
I tap every time.
I mean, not a toast, but like a shot.
I tap every time.
Okay, I love that.
It's just
I want to get into the tapping.
It's just a thing. Okay, yeah. So you opened the show.
But yeah, I opened the show.
You did your mean ass walk. Your face was like.
Thank you, sis.
Great, like you was.
No makeup, y'all. No makeup. Just weed, water, and God. That's it.
Weed, water, and God.
Weed, water, and God. That's it.
You said weed?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Cannabis.
Weed, water, and God, y'all.
Yeah,
those are the three things y'all need to stop a motherfucking show.
Yeah, weed, water, and God is gonna get you right. Your skin is what I'm speaking on. It's it gets me good skin. That's all I preserve. But yeah. But the show was up. I was super excited to dance, opening up the show, of course, and then model in the same show.
Yeah.
This was my first time doing that, but with this specific production, which was Living Royalty. That was my first time doing that with them,
Okay.
and I was just super excited to do that. Love them to death. Again, shout out to them. And yeah, everyone, as far as the audience, really perceived the message. And we went to church
So what was
on
the
a
message?
Sunday. The message was to trust in God first. Continue to always trust in God first. Put Him first with everything that you do, and trust in Him. He will always lead you to the correct path. You know, as we know. But I had to be able to show that visually. I wanted to be able to show that. You can hear it, you can, you know, dream about it maybe, but being able to visually see it on a body with movement was something totally different. And yeah, I was super excited to do that. They didn't expect it at all. People were literally on their way to the bathroom, went back to their seats, called them in between drinks, putting drink down. Like they were just bone chilled to be able to sit there and watch that. So I was excited about that. And then they didn't know I was going to model in the show too. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, the hair kind of gave it away. The hair kind of gave it away.
Okay.
Yeah.
And tell us about the look. So how would you define your look? Especially if people were like thrown off by what your look, I guess, represented in the show. What does that actually represent for you?
My look is eclectic. And that's usually for music, but I'm using it for fashion.
Okay.
It's eclectic. You don't really know what you're going to get because sometimes I don't even know what I'm going to get. You know what I mean? I go off of energy. I go off of vibes.
Yeah.
I go off of what feels good. I don't know what I'm going to wake up with. So inspirational-wise from that, Prince. Tremendously.
Yes.
Front line.
Yes.
He's the first person for me that I get inspiration from in addition to, of course, Andre 3000. Those two.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just
I can
they
see
get
it.
it.
Yes.
They get it. And I got it. Young. You see what I'm saying? By watching them, of course, but just doing my own thing. And I could say they pushed the envelope. Was just doing their own thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I love that you said Prince, because Prince is my, like, I used to talk when I was young and I didn't know any better because my mom has this thing with Prince. I used to be like, why is she watching this dude? Like,
What is going on with
like,
him?
what is happening? But when I got older and I would watch Purple Rain like back to back, I would fall asleep to it. And it was like it became clear to me what his representation looked like and just what it meant for him to be an individual. And he's always been just such an individualistic person who stands firm on what that looks like for him.
Yes.
And that's like, I feel like that's the most powerful thing you can do, aside from what you were talking about, like with the message, with the fashion show, and it being about trusting in God, like trusting in source, whatever that source looks like for everyone listening, just trusting what that feels like for you, standing in your purpose, well, finding out what your purpose is, and that could be through, you know, being in different environments,
That's so good
connecting
that you
with
say
different
that.
people
That's a
who
blessing
feel
that
your
you say that.
energy. Like
It's so
much.
It's so valuable. And people miss that part, the valuableness of that. Like finding your why.
Yeah.
You know, I was thankful enough to be able to shout out to Love Tank. I was able to go to my second vision board party ever. And that was dope. Before the new year came. And she asked me a very, very distinct question. And she asked me, what is my why? And I had to find out what my why was, not saying right then and there in that setting, but it made me definitely think about so much that I've done in my life. And of course, what I'm about to endeavor in the future, but just really what's the now?
Yeah.
What's going on right now? I don't worry about the past.
Yeah. It's already done.
It's done. I can't dwell. But I'm a big person on not dwelling. So once I got that question asked, I knew it was time for her.
Yeah.
Time for God to send somebody to ask me that question. And I was thankful for that. Because he literally sent her to ask me that. I've never been asked that question in my life.
That's a deep thought, though.
Oh my God.
You know that people like that source will send people and will put people in your space in your life to get you to think deeper about who you are as an individual, what your spirit means to your physical body, like how these two things intertwine, and just also how you can be contradictory. Because I feel like sometimes as the people we forget that we can be contradictory. We can be hypocritical because we're trying to navigate our physical existence and our spiritual existence, and we can get caught up in like worldly things and just what's happening in our day-to-day lives while trying to fulfill our spiritual purpose.
Amen.
So definitely having someone to ask you those questions are important. Like
It was right on time.
you have to have people in your world who can see you
And don't
in that
mind
way.
making you uncomfortable.
Yes, because that's where you grow.
And I found that is where you grow more. watering that seed to know that you're going to be uncomfortable to find out what it is that's driving you.
Yeah.
That is your why.
You need to be uncomfortable.
What's driving you? What's pushing you every day to wake up?
Yeah.
Of course, to be thankful, but once you lose one of those five senses, you question what's your why. Yes. Why am I here? Why am I doing this? Why do I love this so much? It shouldn't have to take for you to be burned for you to feel what is your why.
Yeah.
Realize it young. That's why I love teaching young youth to be able to tap in immediately.
Come on, teaching the youth.
Period.
If you're not teaching the people, the generation younger than you,
it's what are you doing?
You really, like, you're gatekeeping just knowledge that could be beneficial to people who inspire to you.
Especially inspired to you. Adapt to you.
I am so not understand you. That's just crazy to me.
Yeah.
That's so crazy to me.
I believe that she was a huge gatekeeper of information young. For sure.
Let somebody walk up to me, how did you, I'm going to tell you everything. Like, there's no need for me to gatekeep or even, like, charge you for what that looks like. Like, I am all for giving out information and free game. I feel like that's how it's supposed to be. Like, especially if you're for the culture.
Free game.
If you are for the culture.
Why wouldn't you put them up on game? That doesn't make sense to me. I mean, that right there in itself, it's a fine line. Because people realize, what you could lose from that.
Right,
there's nothing you're losing.
And there's nothing you're losing. What's for you is going to be for you regardless.
You're gaining so much from them getting that one up on themselves. They're not getting the one up on you. That's the loss. That's the lostness in it, everybody.
I'm just loving this
up.
energy. I don't even think that we intended. Did we intend? Was this where because I know you had mentioned something earlier. Was this what you was talking about?
This is exactly what I was talking about.
Is it really?
This is exactly what I was talking about, you guys.
Okay.
Just the organic
I like that it just organically went into exactly what you intended.
Yeah, because I knew it was going to get here.
So you
said that at the beginning was like, speaking of, she's on it, y'all, today. Like, this intention thing is something that I closed 2022 out in heavy.
Okay.
Was focusing on my intention.
Okay.
What was my intention on anything that I did? I don't care. I'm talking about the most meticulous, minute thing that you could think about. From brushing my teeth. And I'm sorry to think like that, y'all, but am I, like, brushing my teeth eloquently? Like, am I getting what I need to get in the back of my mouth? I'm thinking about that, but that's like, I'm being funny now, but, like, just think about life.
Because I changed my toothpaste.
See?
I bought some, like, organic, like, charcoal and black seed oil toothpaste, and I've been using that this year. I've never done that before. I've always used some fluoride shit, and now it's fluoride free. Okay,
but that charcoal hits different.
It really does.
I need to give you a one I got too that I used to. But aside from that, yes, intention. Intention was huge for me, and I didn't even know that I needed to have that first too.
Yeah,
it's very important. Just walking into different situations, coming across different situations, and putting yourself in different situations. Yeah, those are three different things, and that I realized that I was doing heavy in general in life, but mainly last year. I was putting myself in a lot of different situations where my intention was not where it needed to be. Not saying it was malicious, but it was just like
it wasn't aligned.
It wasn't where exactly.
You're so funny.
Exactly. You get it. Like
it wasn't aligned with your purpose.
That's it. Yeah. And I'm all about inspiring somebody. So why am I here?
Yeah.
Not saying I'm doing it for you. Not saying I'm here to entertain you. But you're gonna get something that you're gonna remember something. Yeah. Something's gonna spark with you. And I'm okay with that. Intention.
That's you standing in your purpose.
It's
knowing that when you walk into a room or an environment that you are going to touch other people and they're going to feel your energy because you are being intentional and you're manifesting what you want your purpose to look like for yourself.
I thought it was not something bad at first of doing it, but I didn't think it would really happen.
What particularly?
Having true intentions.
Okay.
It's very fine. It's like a thin ice between manifestation. Intentions and manifesting, because you have certain intentions of what you want out of this, what you want to do, and then you're manifesting it of speaking those things out of your mouth of what you want. So it was coincided very, very well for me, and the more I've understood that, it plays hand in hand. So the more I spoke a lot of things that I wanted out of my life, sought out of my life, want out of friendships, get this away from me, bring this into me, pour in and pour out, it made more sense. It felt more good. It felt pure. Instead of trying. Yeah. You know how people like, how do you pray? I don't know if you ever had somebody ask you, how do you pray?
I have, just yesterday.
But BTW, there's no specific way. Talk to him. slow, fast, whatever you need to do. But just in general, intention
Yeah.
and manifestation, it plays hand in hand tremendously. So once you lock that in,
You're good to
you're on one. You've won.
Yeah.
Early though, let's keep back to that. Early, young, and that was a question you asked me. We can go into that question if you want to.
What?
That question you asked me about what would I tell my younger self?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
That question stuck out to me
How
tremendously when I
should
read
ask
that.
We gonna ask
We're gonna
that.
ask you now.
Yeah. Okay. So what would you tell your younger self?
My God, I would tell my younger self to slow down.
I like that. 'Cause
Slow
we be rushing.
down. And you hear it so much of not speeding up, but take your time. You hear that a lot. Take your time. Be young.
Yeah.
Be this, be that. Because we're not old.
I'm
not
very
old.
much young.
We're not old, but we continue to grow.
Yeah. We're evolving.
So it's just within that,
our
like
best selves.
when you're young, doing that early, you will win.
Yeah, you're speaking a lot of life into yourself.
Oh my God. It's a win.
And that's why we shouldn't
Take
gatekeep.
your
Tell these
time.
kids these things.
Live young. Be a kid. Have no bills. If somebody could have signed me up for not being adult, I would have never signed up for it.
Right.
I would have just took my Social Security card, took my straight A's, and kept it as that. Simple as that. Because I'm like, bro.
Because seriously,
Because straight A's is still in
adulting
school.
is
Straight A's is
stressful.
still, I'm still in school.
Yeah.
I just graduated high school.
Yes.
12th grade. That's what I want to
Yes.
say.
Okay.
12 and below.
Okay.
Doing big boy shit. If you know what I mean.
I'm sick of you.
No,
I really
for real,
love that,
because
though.
I'm just saying, like, the mentality was so innocent, fearless,
vulnerable.
very vulnerable, but fearless. Didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Didn't care.
Yeah. That's why I love kids, being around kids.
Not having a filter, but still having a filter. And when I say still having a filter, I mean the humble side of it.
Yeah.
I don't mean to hurt your feelings. I got a question. Are you a girl or a guy? I get that question asked to me all the time. I love that. I not crave it. Take that back. I don't crave you asking me that question, but I am flattered that you asked me that question.
But you know, that's my versatility.
Exactly. Without me having to speak, because I'm not trying to
Right.
be a female. I'm not trying to do these things, but it's polished so well you would think that it would be that. And I love that for me and you, for you to perceive that.
Yeah.
But it just stems back from intention. What is your intention? Why am I in this room wearing this wig? Why am I in this room doing these different things? Are you portraying that correctly? It goes back into that.
Are you portraying that correctly?
I feel like if you're going to do it, you got to do it right.
I'm just loving this energy. I'm loving that you came
Your nails cute.
on it. Period. Thank you, as was yours. I've been looking at them this
I
whole
need to get them
time.
done.
So back to supporting the youth, right? So
We love the kids.
I
Love
absolutely
the
love the
kids.
kids.
Love the kids.
Okay.
Period. I'm sorry.
I really do love the kids. But with that, because you talked about, your support of the youth, like in what capacity are you doing that with your creativity?
To the highest capacity. As much as I can be able to put in without dying.
Without dying?
Yet.
Oh my God, okay.
So that's like my full
Like without
100%.
draining yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's like no energy. That's why I said death. But yeah, I mean, I wanted to be able to put all my energy to the forefront. Mm-hmm. So I put that into the younger youth tremendously because they just need somebody to listen to them.
Yeah.
And understand them and relate.
Did you have that growing up for yourself? Or is that something that you just kind of navigated through your experiences?
Navigated through my experiences. Okay. I definitely had people support me all my life. I've always had that tremendously. People that didn't even know me from a can of paint could have just met me, but super supporters. So, that was something that was very eye-opening for me. So it was very eye-opening for me because you don't know me.
Yeah.
And for you to go so hard for me, it's like, I'm with it. Like, I got to start doing that more when I feel energies.
Yes.
And I felt like they felt my energy. So they was like, we going hard for you. You know what I mean? We going to support you. We going to pull up. We going to do this and that. And I just met you last week. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I love that. Once I grew more into that, it made me tap into wanting to put that more into the community, which is the younger youth. Making sure that they're being listened to. I want to listen to you. I want to make sure that you have somebody that don't mind maybe have gone through what you're going through, and I will hope that they have gone through what you can go through, so they can give you some advice.
Yeah.
Because in that retrospect, they just listening. That's what
And
you
kids
should
are
do.
very
at least.
honest.
It's
like,
just listen.
Yeah.
They just want to listen. They just want to be on a soapbox. And I get it. They're not taken serious.
Yeah.
Which is unacceptable. Because I feel like at any age you should be taken serious. You take baby serious, so you should take any
Our
age.
life is serious, so yeah,
serious.
for sure.
That's what I've grown to understand more. Taking, the younger youth more serious.
I love that because I want to do. Well, this is gonna be like y'all will all learn this a little later, but I'm creating like a sub project under the podcast called Chill for Free. Just basically to say that it shouldn't cost us money or our lives to do everyday shit. But it's really to support the youth and getting access to community resources and getting access to like creative labs. Something like, we're shooting at Cam Kirk Studios for all y'all who are not familiar. But they do a lot of...
Shout out to Cam Kirk.
Shout out to Cam Kirk.
Good history.
Shout out to fucking
good
Cam
history
Kirk
vibes.
Studios.
Like, it's like history in the
They
making.
be in here.
Like, are you
they
kidding
be
me?
in here. I love
So
Cam
many
Kirk Studios and the
good,
people in here.
beautiful
They're very
souls.
supportive. But they are already creating and establishing themselves in the community as far as, the younger generations are concerned. So with Chill for Free, just even like connecting the youth to Cam Kirk Studios and the creative labs that they do have here. And just for them to learn what it's like to be more responsible online on social media, what using discernment looks like, how you can market yourself responsibly.
Your image is very important. Your name.
Yeah, how your image is, the language that you use, the way you speak. Like, it's really important for them to use these things because they're
Creative
on TikTok
etiquette.
and they're on all of these platforms.
Creative etiquette.
Ooh, I love.
Creative etiquette.
We got to bleep that out.
Creative etiquette.
Y'all
can't have that.
Nobody using that.
Y'all can't have that. I'm sorry.
Nobody is using that. I ain't never heard nobody say that like that.
Thank you, guys. That.
Because it's really important. Like, even when you think about mental health and the youth, I work with a lot of kids who are on these platforms and they don't necessarily know what they're doing on these platforms, or they may not understand the information that they're intaking on these platforms, and then they just kind of go out and, kids are impressionable. So they're going to mimic what they see and what they hear without really knowing the capacity, what that looks like. And so when you talk about like setting intentions at a younger age, it's like if you aren't aware of what that looks like and you're processing all of this negative information, then you're kind of setting yourself up for failure.
Easily.
In a sense, at
without
like
even knowing, coming across traumas that you didn't even know you had.
Over and over again.
Different things that you weren't prone to, quote unquote, at a younger age.
Yeah.
That's very enticing, and it's very important that we miss is at the younger age. Like, it goes by so fast.
Yeah.
And we're so lost in between that because we don't have any responsibilities. So if we don't have any responsibilities, you're not going to be as much aware of what life is lifing like because you don't have any responsibilities.
What life is lifing like.
Because you don't have any responsibilities. Yeah. So if you have somebody that does have, listen to this, y'all. If you have somebody that does have responsibilities around you that can be able to cultivate you in the way to learn more and be able to feel the flame before it is hot, you'll win. But you have to be able to have a clear heart to receive it. Because you may have an ego trip. You may feel like you got going on. You may feel like you got it going on.
Yes.
You may feel like you got 10 bands before 10. You ain't got it going on. 10 mil before 10 is a little different, and we can weigh a little couple different options. Yeah. But I'm just saying 10 bands is a lot to a 10-year-old. That's why I gave that analogy. $10,000 to a 10-year-old. Like, my God, it's a lot of money.
They've made it.
That's gas money.
Yeah. Talk to them.
So it's just like, thinking like that, I want that perspective as a younger youth to think bigger.
Yeah.
Without having it. That's coming to God withholding nothing.
Wow. I like how you just like drop that gem.
We're in, y'all. We're here. This is what y'all been waiting on. We're here now. God is good.
Only episode 1 of the Daily Store Run podcast.
Yeah, and they're gonna run to the store. Podcast. They're going to run to the store to get this podcast.
We are.
That's the motive. You're gonna literally run to your app store to be able to grab this one.
Because we are having like real conversations. This is real conversation for real people who are within the culture and are not far removed from what the culture looks like for us who are living outside.
We are definitely living outside. Yeah, every day.
Seeing the shit that's happening on these streets every day.
And speaking of every day, I mean, life be life in every day.
Life be life.
So if life is life in every day,
it's a bill due.
You can't fall short being able to project your energy to somebody so rudely, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If everyone could be able to live life nice and peacefully on your own aspect of understanding that life is lifing for you, but being open-armed to understand that life is life for somebody else. Like you said earlier, to stem off what you said earlier, everybody hides it differently.
Yeah.
But have an open heart and be real and have a realization that they may be still going through something right now. They may have 0 cents in their pocket right now, but they're not given the energy to know that they don't have anything in their account, is what I'm supposed to understand. And if we can live life more like that, just happy, without fully having the happiness, is what I'm saying. You may not be fully happy of where you want to be, but just being happy of where you are is priceless, because you may die tomorrow. And that's at least I'm happy right now. At least I've done everything I could do right now into this day or to this time to be, happy. They not understanding, girl. They not getting it, y'all. They not getting it.
And that comes with, like you said, knowing your purpose. Like, once you know what your purpose looks like and you're able to be very intentional with the moves that you make and the people you surround yourself with, it becomes easier to ground yourself in your decisions. Like, you're less likely to hold on to shame or, guilt. You're able to release all of the negative energy that is not propelling you to becoming the best version of yourself. When you know what the best version of yourself looks like,
it's easy.
You're going to make all of the right decisions for yourself to get there. You're going to be way more mindful. It's going to be easier for you to hold yourself accountable. It'll be easier for you to be apologetic and to change your behavior.
It'll be so easy.
It will be so much easier. But you have to surround yourself around energies that, even like not being the smartest one in the room or the most creative one in the room, it's like that shit is okay, because you will learn from someone else who was in that room and they will teach you how to get to that next step. And that shit is perfect.
It is.
I am so okay with not being. There's so many creatives in this room whose creativity I respect, because I know it's not my lane. Like, it's not something that I'm good at or proficient at. So it's like, I will ask them questions. Can I do this? Can we change this? What does this look like? How, I want to know. You have to be in a space to receive information, a space to receive someone teaching you something about yourself, and not having that ego or that pride to being like, you can't help me. Like, I can do this shit myself. It's like, no, it's okay if someone else can guide you.
Exactly. That's it.
Because the universe is
and I don't
guiding
mind
us.
being under somebody.
Yeah.
I don't mind learning from somebody. I'm a student. People always put me at the forefront as being the teacher. Yeah. And I didn't understand that so much at a point in time. Like, why do you keep wanting me to be in the forefront all the time? But then I'm supposed to lead. Yeah. And I get it. When I do lead, the people that I am leading, they're so appreciative of one, but they learn something too. Yeah. And that's what I want you to learn from, especially if I'm teaching you. I want you to learn something from me than anything. That's the whole point. You're not just trying to be around me to just be around me. So we want to be able to grow. I want to learn from my friends. I want to learn from different colleagues I'm working with. I want to learn from different business partners that I may be doing some new business with. It's all about growth. Yeah. If I'm not learning anything from you, I don't know what we're talking about. And I hate that. Sounds so mean, but it is what it is. It's like, my mind is very much more strategic. After seeing Money Heist on Netflix, check out Money Heist, y'all. After seeing Money Heist, it's just giving more strategic.
Yeah. Planned out.
Yeah, very, very more.
I thought about this a year before.
10 years.
I implemented it.
10 years, and it went very much so well. So it's just like, and I'm just being funny, But yeah, just giving an example. Yeah. Like, it's all about that. Having that plan E.
Yeah.
When you're at plan A, have a plan E. It's about 4 or 5 plans in between.
Right, because shit's going to happen.
Shit is going to happen. And we're going to have that perception like ain't shit, too much shit going to happen, but it will happen.
Shit's going to happen. Yeah.
Simple.
Because I just told you, I was in a whole car accident the other day. I did not expect for that to happen on the weekend that I'm trying to shoot these episodes. But it happened, and I had to kind of maneuver in a way that just made sense to me. But going off of what you said, about being in those rooms, you have to kind of be in a space where you are willing to build community. Like, you have to build community. You have to be willing to connect with people who are different than you, and just kind of like bridging those gaps. Like earlier, you had mentioned. I mean, aside from all the creative endeavors that you do, because you're just flourishing your creativity, which is great for the culture.
I wish I would have got it more recorded though. It's kind of like like I wish I would have got more of my accomplishments and things that I could be able to show people recorded.
I mean, but you still have time.
I mean, I still have a lot of time, but it's more of a memory in my head.
Okay.
Of really
things
doing
that you've
these
done
things.
that people haven't seen.
Nowadays, it's kind of giving like, you know, a lot of recaps on everything, a lot of being able to record things and show things. And now, you know, in my mind, I know I've done a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of things I could touch base on, but it's all in the mental. But with the industry that I work in, it's more on the blueprint of being able to see it and visually see it now. So that's where I'm at with that, like getting more of the aspect of recording more, like I told you earlier.
Yeah.
Let me get this BTS to make sure I have this.
Yeah.
I'm like,
that makes sense.
I get so out of this. I get
Yeah.
so in the moment. And that's what I was. I was so in the moment.
That's how I be too.
So in the moment and enjoying the moment, yes, but still having even somebody come and record, like my beautiful sis right here. I had to bring her in because I knew I needed that recording because I don't get it and people want to see. They ask me all the time.
I like that you did that though.
I needed it.
Yeah, because I'm always open to people. Like, bring whatever.
I'm glad you were open to even
whatever
having,
you need to do.
I needed that bad. And I know you was gonna have people here, but I just didn't know what the scene was giving. So I was like, I just know for me, I know I need this for myself. So yeah.
So what's next for you? What should the people look like? What are we looking forward to?
A muse. The next thing for me is being a muse for other people.
I love that.
Yeah, just being open to being a brand ambassador for a lot of different labels, opening up myself of being that creative aesthetic for them, them throwing kind of in really any and everything at me, and me just figuring out a way to promote what they see fit for their brand. Of course, still focusing on myself, but I know I'm here to help others. I'll be good in my token of what I do, but I know I'm my own boss. So helping others with what they do creatively, that's what I love to do. So being a muse, modeling has been such an eye-opener for me. I have so much more work to do, of course, but just with the love that I've gotten, of course, and just the foundation, of course, these 2 years I've done it, going on 2 years now, it's just been different. And it's so enriching to find something else that I love to do as much as I love dance. Yeah. But now it's time to put in the foundation of learning more about the fundamentals fully, especially with digital and you know, runway. It's two totally different aspects. So that's where I'm at now, being a muse.
I love that you're tapping into different forms of creativity, because it can be difficult to focus on multiple aspects of ourselves.
It definitely can be. It was for a minute for me. You know, I've always known who I was. I've always known that I love to do this. I love expressing myself, but it's different when you do it for you all the way.
I love that.
All the way, yeah, all the way. Like, be you, y'all. Like, fully, completely, all the way. Like, do whatever you want to do, whatever you want to wear, but just make sure you know your audience.
I love this.
Yeah, know your audience.
I feel like this is going to be a very enlightening and inspiring dialogue for those just watching and feeling conflicted in themselves. Like, I want to do this, but I like to do this and I like to do this. It's like us as a culture in general, we are just a very multifaceted culture. Like, we can do so many great things. We just don't have, sometimes we lack the support and the resources to navigate through all of those great things that we love to do.
Exactly. And being around people that love on you when you love on them. That's very important for me. Like, love on me and I'm going to love on you and vice versa. That's the reciprocation that we can be able to have to do whatever we want to do, but mainly for creativity, because it's such a vulnerable thing. Yeah. You're very vulnerable when you're creating. Yes. You want them to love it. And it's in your mind of what you've been perceiving and then you're laying it out, especially visually. Yeah. So within that, I mean, that already in itself is something that you have to be fearless to do. Okay, cool. So once I get past that, now what's the next step? Yeah. execution.
So
That's where I'm at for this year.
what are you leaving the people with when it comes to Damarkus Byrd, aka Munny?
Stay true to you. That's what I would leave the people. Stay true to you.
Okay.
You know, grind forever. Stay true to you. Find your niche, find your bubble, and bring who you want into that bubble. Make your own bubble.
Ooh, yes.
That's the niche. Like, make your own bubble.
Your own lane.
And it's a thin line between it because you don't want to seem rude. You don't want to seem stuck up. And they may classify you as bougie or whatever it may be. I heard everything under the book when they don't know you. But when they know you, you can create that bubble and just bring whoever you want inside of it. And it's going to make so much sense for you. Yeah. Anybody else, it doesn't matter. As long as it's making sense for y'all, that's all that matters at the end of the day. And it's made sense for me. And it's going to make sense for people that's around me and people that I come in contact with. They're going to get it. Some people won't, and some people don't want to. Mm-hmm. It's okay.
Yeah, some people don't want to.
Some people don't want to. Some people are very closed-minded to certain things. Yeah. Preparation is definitely one of them, but some people are just very like closed-minded with certain things, and you have to be mature about it. That's another mature step that I've grown into. That you ain't gonna be for everybody. Yeah. Everybody not gonna fuck with that.
That is okay.
Everybody not gonna fool with that. They're not gonna. But as long as you respect it, we good. Cause I'm gonna respect you.
I love that.
So we good. It's been a pleasure.
Y'all, it's been a pleasure with you. Daily Store Run Podcast, your go-to podcast for culture, entertainment, and mental health.
Literally.
I am your host, Aaila, a.k.a. Who is Aaila. Special guest co-host, Damarkus Byrd, a.k.a.
So
Munny. Thank y'all for joining me on the Daily Store Run Podcast. Love you all. Peace.
Bye-bye.